Hello everybody. This is Carmen with Elemental Designs. And I am here today to share with you guys how I store my stamps. Now, all of my cling stamps as well as my unmounted stamps, and I'm gonna have to speak a little louder because this is like the fourth time I've tried to do this video, and every single time I turn the camera on, the guy who's mowing the lawn in the next building seems to get, it's like he knows, and he comes closer to the windows. So I am like ready to go down there and be like, oh. Anyways, so for the most part, this is how I store my stamps, and I have five binders in total. And I found this to be pretty much, right now for me, it's like the easiest way to kind of have my stamps all divided up. Now, what I've done is I have pretty much set up my cling stamps here. I have my sentiments, sets, and words, and these pretty much, the sentiment sets are all stamps that I received that have more words than they have pictures, and as well as individual words and phrases. I have my little darlings, some of them in here, the ones that I use the most. My people and my faces are in this binder. I also have my Prima and Tim Holtz stamps here because they're pretty much made very similarly. Not the cling though. I don't believe so anyway. And then here I have my background and my unmounted stamps. So just to kind of give you guys a rundown, I'm gonna start with this one here. Let me move these over if I can. Quite an amount of binders. But they fit perfectly in this little cubby spot that I have in my shelving. So pretty much what I've been doing is, this is my background and my, I've been pretty much using, like regular dividers, like regular subject dividers, but I use the paper ones. And then I just pretty much have a little tag, like this is my background. And I have these are little sleeves that I made from plastic sheets. But I do have some envelopes that are coming in, and I'll show you guys what that process is once I get those. They're like little pouches, but it won't be for this. It'll probably be for something else. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you guys. There's really no other time during the day that I can do this. So I do hope that you guys are able to hear me well. And then pretty much this is just regular cardstock. It's 110-pound weight paper that I buy pretty much in bulk. So I pretty much have all of my stamps. I have one sheet over, and then I have my stamps. These are unmounted stamps, but they are background stamps because they're pretty large, and it's pretty much like one kind of scene. And then this is pretty much what I do. Like I'll stamp out the image on my cardstock, and then I'll put the stamps behind it, so I'll know what the stamp kind of looks like. So if I'm looking for something in particular, then I know pretty much what's behind each sheet. And then I just kind of put them that way. For some of them, what I've done is that the plastic that they come on, I have, when they are like this, there's either one single piece. I will pretty much put the backing to it if it has that kind of image. But again, I'm so sorry. Again, kind of just stamping them out first, and then I'll stamp it out in ink that is not really like my most favorite or something that I really need. That way I don't have to worry about it or waste my good ink and stuff like that. And then pretty much I stamp that and I put it here, and then I house them kind of here. And these are stamps that I have received or have purchased from eBay and or AliExpress, but mostly from eBay. And then this is what I have here, and then these are just other cling unmounted stamps that I took off of. These are from Stampin' Up, and then these are from the Little Darlings, and then these are like my unmounted stamps. Now, what I've done to pretty much make it so that they can cling is that I used an Aleene's glue, and it's called Tack It Over and Over. And let me see if I have that bottle handy somewhere so that I can show you guys what it is. And no, I do not. But I've shown it before in my other live streams. But it's called Tack It Over and Over, and pretty much all you have to do is add a very thin layer, like brush on a very thin layer, and then it makes the stamp clingy again, and you can pretty much apply that to any of your stamps, be them these or even the cling ones if you need to, or if they no longer stick. um, and pretty much that's what I've done with those. And as you can see, uh, they're really good. And this kind of glue, it pretty much just creates a very tacky, kind of base. And then you can reposition and use your stamps, over and over, you know, lift them up, put them back over and over. And I've done that pretty much for all of my stamps. Now, some of them, when I did rip them off, they didn't rip off that well. So this actually is very good for keeping the whole thing kind of leveled once I do that, once I'm going to use it. So that's pretty much what I've done with these. Now, this is my Prima and Tim Holtz. I'm trying to see how I can put this. These are my Prima and Tim Holtz, and I've pretty much stuck all of my thicker ones in this bigger binder. And again, just kind of covered every single one with its own individual sheet. If I can see what the stamp is, then I don't necessarily need to worry about stamping, the front cover of it. So these, for the most part, I didn't stamp because the image is pretty much imprinted right on the back of it, right onto the plain part of it. And what I've done is that for some of my Tim Holtz and some of my Primas that no longer were sticky, then I went ahead and added some of that tack it over and over, and they are now, I'm able to cling them once more. So that's pretty much what I did with these, and I have all of my Prima dolls in here. And that's that one. And then I have some little labels that I saved in this binder, so that if I have another category to add to any of my binders, then I can go ahead and do so. And this is a D-ring binder, and right now it's working very well for me. So that's pretty much what I've done with that, and it kind of eliminates the stress. I'm gonna go with the smaller ones, and then I'll show you the bigger one. This one is my sentiments and words, and here I have all of my sentiments and all of my words. So I just received these two stamp sets from eBay. Let's see if I can, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so that you guys can kind of see. Okay. And pretty much what I've done is that I've used, I just used double-sided tape and kind of stuck it on one side of the clear sheet. And these sheets that I am using to put my stamps on are the same plastic sheets that you use to print, for your printer that you use for like presentations, the projector prints, the projector sheets that you can print, anything on, and then you pretty much use them on those kinds of projectors like for school and projects and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I did, and then I'm able to kind of go ahead and place the stamps directly, in each spot where, the stamp is, so I know exactly, what's what because the stamp is pretty much labeled right behind it. These stamps I got for about $1.19 or $1.20 on eBay. And these are the only, I just started doing this like this, so you're not gonna see a lot of my stamps having the backing, but I am gonna try to do that from now on, just because it makes it easier, and then I don't have to stamp it. I just add a little bit. I just added one strip down the middle of double-sided tape of the sheet, so they don't have, I don't have them tacked all the way through. One piece is more than enough. So you can see I just kind of did it the long ways, and it holds it nice in place. And then I just have my stamps there. So whatever will fit here. If I have a smaller stamp, then I'll put that there if it falls into the category. And then this is pretty much what I did with my words. Now my words is the next thing that I kind of have to work on because I kind of have them somewhat all over the place. I'm not gonna lie. I do have to kind of fix this whole situation a little bit better so that they're more into categories of, what kind of sentiments it is or what kind of word it falls under, be it happy, happy birthday, whatever the case may be. But this is a whole stamp set right here, and I put it right there because it's only words. There's no pictures to it. So this is pretty much why I did this like this, because this one has a lot of words, but it also has a combination of pictures with it. But mostly words, it's mostly about sentiments than it is about the images. So pretty much I have them separated from each other. This is all words. So this is pretty much what I did, and then again I stamped them out. If I took something out, then I'll just exit out. If I placed it in a different section, or if I end up, God forbid, losing the stamp, then I'll know that the stamp is no longer, on this sheet. But I try to stamp them exactly as they are. So pretty much after I layered all of my stamps and I put all of my stamps in, then I just went over the sheet and I just kind of, pressed it down and stamped everything exactly where everything is. So I know that if I'm looking for something, in what section of this page it is, so that I'm not like, going mad looking for it. And so far it's been working for me because I just kind of sift through, you know, and if I want to say this word thank you, then I know it's one, two, it's on the second one from in, so it should be it's actually the third, so I counted from the wrong spot. So when I do this, I have to go 1, 2, and 3, and that's how. So 1, 2, 3, and then it will be on the third one, and I know it's pretty much, this position more or less where it should be. Then I try to place it right back where it is, where it was. And again, with sentiments and stuff like that, I just repeated the same process over. I grabbed the sheet, inked it all up as well as I can, and then I laid it on a flat surface, and then just pressed down on the whole sheet, and then was able to pretty much at least know where everything is, so that I can find them rather easy. Which is why it didn't really stress me out too much that some of my words are, like I have thank yous in like a whole bunch of different places, because every single stamp is more or less different. And then I could just look at the cover and see what's what. So these are like my smaller ones here, and again I just did the same thing. And then this actually doesn't even go here, this goes in my other binder. This is part of some of my background ones that I took out, so this doesn't even go there, but I'll leave it there for now. I am constantly playing with these things and just trying to reconfigure it to how it makes sense to me. And then it's just simply labeled sentiments and words. This is only for words, this is only for sentiments. I won't be adding anything else into this one right there. And then this one is my little darlings, my people and my faces. And here I have, all different kinds of people stamps, be them fairies, be them whatever. And I actually have this binder upside down because when I did it, I wasn't paying attention to the orientation. So obviously I put everything the wrong way. But these are my little darlings, and I labeled the first page. And then again, I just stamped these out. So then I just kind of stamped these out, and then they're right here, pretty much in the same spot that they are in the front, and they're also in the back. These are a little bit some of the other ones that I have. And again, if they came with any little pieces, then I made sure that they are all included, and anything else is on the sheet I stamped on here, just so that I know that all of these things are here, for me to use. And these I use to tack it over and over, and it works phenomenally. This is the reason why I bought the Aleene's glue, was pretty much to do this on here. And I'm gonna see if I run in my room real quick and get the glue for you guys so that you can see what it is. These beauties right here, if you can see them well, I got these all off of AliExpress, and they are absolutely like the cutest little things, and they stamp out really, really well, and I got them for like $1 and some change. And then these are them right here. So pretty much, if I want to just take out the whole sheet, then I can go take out the whole sheet if this is something that I'm going to work on. But for the most part, every stamp layers right over, every image. So it makes life easy for me, and I don't have to go too crazy. And then the reason mostly why I use the cardstock is because it's heavier paper, number one, and number two, you know that a lot of these stamps that we buy sometimes come with a certain residue that'll either leak off, it'll come, it'll absorb oil. So I don't know if you guys can see, but just from having it on here, you can see that it kind of picks up, some of the oils that kind of leak off of like the little words, from however it is that they make them. So it'll just keep absorbing all of the, the residue that comes off of there. And then this is my people, fairies, and angels. So pretty much here I just have like a combination of just all different kinds of faces, and little, little fairies. If I know what they are because I've used them already, then I'm not gonna really go too crazy. Because just by looking at it, I already know because I've used them to pieces. These little fairies right here are the ones that I always complained about before, because they were always oily, but they're not so bad no more. Especially since I put the paper backing on it, it kind of absorbs, a lot. But like you can see that I had them here, and there's a lot of oil. That's not ink, you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but I'll try to bring it up. That's not ink, you guys. That's oil. So those little inked up areas, those are oil from where I had stamps resting. And that pretty much happens with those, you know, overseas dyes, those unbranded, not dyes, but stamps, those unbranded stamps. This is my Jane Davenport, and I just pretty much have all her face, all her faces and elements on one sheet. These are more of, fairies and angels that I have in here. So I know if I'm looking for a winged friend, then I know where to pretty much to get them. And then this is like my little girly section. Nothing much more than just, I have some girls in here and their accessories that came with them, and then just some hearts and just things like that that I know that are girly. And if I want to find something girly, then I'll just come in here and kind of find that way. So, and it works really, really well for me. I know there are other people that are doing them in different ways, but I just wanted to share with you guys how I was doing it, because everybody's brain works a little bit different, and it's extremely cheap. I mean, these things right here cost like $1, and it brings what, like 8 of them, 10 of them. Um, the plastic is what I went with first. The plastic, these, but I don't really like it. I don't really like how they work, but you can use these to actually clean your stamps. So if you don't find, if you don't find the laser printer paper, the clear plastic for the laser printing, which you can go ahead and find that on eBay. I bought a box of 50 or 100, I'm not even sure, for like $11, and sometimes you can even find it cheaper. Because I have purchased these before, these plastic sheets, these projector sheets. I have purchased these before from a thrift store that I had here, and I bought 2 boxes. I went through all of them because I just find so many different uses for it. So when I was converting over to this stamp system, I needed more, so I went ahead and ordered it online, and it came within like 2 or 3 days. I mean, I got it really, really fast. And then the paper, the cardstock paper, I just buy it in bulk, whenever available, and I pay usually like 20 something dollars for um, about 500 sheets. 500, sheets of the 110 pound cardstock paper. And again, that's all eBay. You guys know that I do most of my shopping on eBay. But it works really, really well for me, and it's really, really cheap. It's pretty much one of the most affordable ways that I have found as far as storing all of these, as opposed to having boxes and top of boxes and top of boxes. I just kind of divided everything into smaller sections, so that I can manage it a little bit better. And then depending on what I'm looking for, like I'll grab my sentiments book and my words book, and then I'll grab, depending on what kind of card or what kind of project I'm making, then I know I need this or I need that, and I just pull the binders out and take it with me, or pull the sheets out that I need and then put them back when I'm done. And then this is the big mama jamma right here. And pretty much I just have it as clean stamps because there are many categories in this one. It was easier for me to just put all the different categories in this one than to just make a binder for each single one of them, since they're rather small. um, I just got this stamp set. I have to make a music section on my binder, which is why this is out. But I got this again, $1.19, $1.20 on eBay. I believe I got this one from. So what I have so far, I'll read to you guys my sections. I have oceans, winter scene, oddities, symbols. I have once upon a time, which are like fairy tale related type of stamps. Borders, labels, and flourishes, because these are all things that you add to a paper. You add to a page as a decoration, not as a necessity. So I have all of these things together. I have transportation. I have houses and cages, because even birds and all different kinds of animals have their own dwelling, their own home. So I put all these different homes pretty much in one spot, in one section. So if I'm looking for an animal, like let's say a dog house, I'll go to the houses and cages, and I know that a dog house is going to be there because it's a dog house. So that's kind of how my mind kind of works. And then I have like animals, and I have birds, insects, and butterflies in one section. and then I have trees and flowers in one section. So to kind of show you guys a little bit of how this goes, I know a lot of you guys have probably seen most of my stamps, if not all of my stamps, especially if you come and you check out my videos on my channel regularly, which thank you so much. Hugs and kisses to you. If you haven't, then please subscribe and, you know, join us every now and then. So right now, this is what I have on my ocean, because I have purchased, which I'm going to show you when I show you guys my next video, which is going to be my dies. I have purchased some orders from eBay and AliExpress, but I have them together with their dies. So I have my dies and my stamps that are in sets. I have those together in my die storage. So this is the only one that I have here so far, the Lonely Fiddle. But hopefully I'll be adding some more to it. And again, I did the same thing. I used the backing that came with it, and I added it there, and then I just mounted the stamps right over it. So I don't have to stamp this out if I don't want to. It's completely up to you. And it doesn't have its page yet, but you can see it already started to kind of leak through. But it will have its page because I did this last night, so I haven't got a chance to punch out the cardstock for it. But these are other stamps that I received from eBay. And this is my winter ones because it says Winter Wonderland and Seasons Greetings. And this is more images than it is words. So I kept them together here in this, you know, in their own little group section. And then I have some other snow scenes or Christmas related or winter related stamps that are, you know, on this page are here. Anything that I move away, I move out of this category or I place in a different, you know, page or section, I X out and I know that it's no longer here. And these are all the little winter woodland. And this is why I put these in a, you know, a big binder like this, because again, I don't have that many for each section. So it just made more sense to kind of group them all together. And then these are my oddities. And my oddities, I have these funky shoes, which to me is an oddity, which might work better in girly, but it has flowers and just stuff kind of coming out of it. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. I kind of put this over it, but this is gonna go behind it. So I was actually already thinking like this before I even realized that this was actually gonna become something I was gonna do, but I have it over right now because this is just really sticky. But if I can show you. This is why this is an oddities, because it's like a shoe. It's got a house hanging off of it and it's got a bird, and it just has so many different things going on that it's like, okay, do I put it in flowers? No. Do I put it in clothing? No. Because it just has so many different elements going on. So this is why this is an oddities. And I have that there. And then I have a candelabra here. And this actually doesn't go there. This is a little cup, which I have to move. But this section, this page here also doesn't have its own page yet, because this is still a work in progress. I'm not really sure how it's gonna end up yet, this section of it. So I have my symbols and my numbers, and pretty much I have bingo cards and just things to do with clocks and just numbers and things of that nature here, or symbols like stars. This is my fairy tale section, and pretty much in my fairy tale section I have Alice in Wonderland stamps. I have bikes and just random little things. And again, if I put it on a page, then I pretty much put it there. Lucky is there because this is one of the 101 Dalmatians, so I have his little bowler. But again, I have to still, you know, it's a work in progress. This is quite a lot of stamps to kind of go through and sort. All my smaller binders are pretty much good to go. This bigger binder is still somewhat of a work in progress, but I shall get there. And it's got dream chasers and just different things like that. Like I have to make a weather related section. So once I make my weather related section, then these clouds and certain other elements are probably going to go in my weather section, just so that I have those kind of there. So I think by the time I'm done, I'm probably going to have one more binder to add to the collection. But even though it's a lot of binders, at least it's not a lot of boxes, and I have a spot, you know. So work within your means, work with the space that you have. So since I have an area for them, I have room enough to put at least one or two more binders in it. It's the only real reason why I went into this whole binder system. If I didn't have the room for it, I probably wouldn't do it, because they're gonna be, you know, clunky no matter where you put it, right? So work within your means, and if you do have to work with boxes, then you work with boxes. But You can use this kind of system as far as, you know, separation, so on and so forth, and categorizing them so that you have them easier access if that's something that you would like to do. So um, here I have more of what is in this section here. These are borders, labels, and flourishes. So pretty much I have these are all different kinds of flourishes, and a lot of these still have to be stamped out. I haven't worked as much in this book as I did with my smaller ones, but I have a lot of, you know, all different kinds of flourishes and stuff are all pretty much here. But at least the white paper for the most part helps me to see most of them and what most of them look like, so that kind of helps me out a little bit. I have my transportation here, so I have a boat so far because I don't really have anything else with transportation. And I have this whole set here together, but sometime later or another, this whole set is actually going to go into this. Actually, I should put that into the sea, so that's not even going to be there. So my transportation section most likely is going to be either empty, or I'm going to put the bicycles that I have in my fairy tale section, which they don't really belong there, and I'll put those into my transportation section, and that will definitely make more sense. So I have my homes and my cages, and this is a birdhouse, and I have to add some of the tack it over and over glue on that. But I have little bird houses. Yeah, definitely gonna need it. I have little bird houses and just regular houses, and a dog house and cages, and pretty much where things dwell, right? Animals. Right here, I just have some cats and a dog, and a bear, and some bears. Cats, dogs, and bears is what I have here. And then here are my, which is like probably my most intensive section, is my birds, butterflies, and insects. I received this die set from eBay. This cost me about $1, I believe. And this is a little bird from another stamp set that is here with the other little bird. And that's how that kind of looks. And then here I just have more butterflies, so on and so forth. Definitely more butterflies here. And these belong to a die set, so I'm actually going to be taking some of these out. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 right here actually have a matching die that goes with it, so I'm going to take these out and put those in my die storage. These are some of my bigger birds right here, and that's kind of that. And then here I have my trees and my flourishes, which is my last category so far, but I will be adding more. Again, I'm going to be adding music, and I'm probably going to be adding weather, just so that I can add like clouds, raindrops, you know, things of that nature, or things that are affiliated with the weather. I'm going to put those there. So I have this. This is another stamp set, and I know it probably makes it really, really hard to see, but it's pretty much a blank tree. It's white on white anyway. Let's see. I need something that's maybe not so white or not so clear. Does that work? Maybe that works a little bit better. Yes. So I have a plain tree here, and then all of these different stamps kind of mount on top of it. So once you stamp this, then you can choose which one of the 3 you want to do, and then you have additional little leaves and stuff like that. And I even have a little bunny here. This is all one stamp set that I got off of eBay. I have to keep a colored paper in here so that when I'm doing show and tell, I can kind of show you guys what that is. And here I just have, again, different stamp sets. This is a see that. This is like a cup right here, and it's got like these flowers that are there. And I think I did a card with some of these already. And then it comes with additional flowers that are right here that you can kind of mask and just create like this whole little effect. And these are just other additional roses and stuff like that that I have from other stamp sets that I've purchased off of eBay. And these are just some of my older flower stamps. Some leaves. All my leaves are in one sheet. And here I have trees and pumpkins, and just different things that have, you know, that are tree and pumpkin related. And my last sheet in here is more of those kinds of stamps, you know, more flowers and stuff like that. So I wanted to come on real quick, well, maybe not so quick, but I wanted to come on and show you guys what I was up to, what I have been doing as far as my storage. And you know, how that was all working out for me, and I wanted to do a video that was pretty much just dedicated to that. So I do hope that you guys found this video useful. If you need me to list below what my categories and or sections are, then let me know and I'll more than gladly do that, so that you guys can kind of use the same more or less system or a similar system. Maybe this inspires you to kind of create your own system based on how your mind kind of works, because my categories are based on how my mind works and how my mind kind of divides everything up. So if your mind works different, then just, you know, kind of group them in a way that they make sense to you, so that when you go to find them, your mind automatically knows, because, you know, it's your system. You know, you kind of more or less looked at every stamp, you looked at everything, and you said, okay, this goes here, this goes there, this goes there. And even if you end up having to break up some sets in order for your system to work, that's a-okay, because you'll know where all the pieces are whenever you need them. But if you want to keep them together, then you more or less have an idea of how you can go about that without having to stamp each single, you know, every single stamp. You don't have to stamp every single stamp, especially if you save them in packages. Then just tape the package cover, you know, behind it. The part where the stamp comes off, tape that section there, so that when you stick it on, it's pretty much your stamps are going to overlay in exactly the same position that they came in, and that way you can preserve your stamps. So feel free to pick my brain if you need to. I am here to offer my assistance if you require. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. The next video is going to be me sharing my hauls. Bye.